edibles, man. I hate sitting on That's Chantel, she's not here. My name is Nevaeh, and welcome back to Bash. And today we are going to have like a little story time, I want to say, but not at the same time. It's more because I can give you the vague or overview of what I'm trying to convey, but I can't give you the details of like days. I'm terrible at time. For the life of me, my brain refuses to like soak up information involving like days and times. So I won't be able to give you that. But I could definitely tell you like this goes first and then this happened and then this happened. And it's gonna be about, how do I title it? How do I phrase it? How do I word it? The story time is gonna be about fake friends. And but I don't want to name something boring. It's not out of spite. It's not like me trying to bring up old drama or anything like that. It's kind of like, oh my god, that was kind of crazy. Those one of the things where you're just like surprised that happened to you. So like when you do think about it, it's kind of like funny in a way now. This is not serious. This maybe 2 years ago I would have been crying saying that it was serious, but it's not anymore. And when I do think about it, I'm just like, I think of new things, because you know, they're not the people I'm about to talk about, because it's a story time about friends. It's a friend story time. The people that I'm going to be talking about, and I'm not going to say their real names, so no hate. I'm going to keep them completely undercover. No hate to them, wish them well, and a part of me will always like miss them, but what can you do? Time to move on. Okay, so we're gonna throw it back many years to when I was a little girl and elementary school kind of vibes. Think of me as like 10. Actually don't, because I was chunky little monkey. There's a girl, okay, because Chantel's a part of this, low-key. I've met Chantel elementary school. We probably told you guys that, but if you didn't know that, me and Chantel, the partner of this YouTube video, she's not here today, like I said earlier. We met in elementary school in like the first grade. Instantly clicked. There's this other girl, we'll name her Sam. We also met her in the first grade. Well, Chantel knew her like for a couple years prior before that. They went to daycare together and they kind of grew up together. But I personally met Sam in the first grade. Didn't really like vibe, didn't really talk, so we didn't become friends or anything, but we knew of each other. Fast forward to 5th grade. Still don't really know Sam, but know of her because I lived on one street. Sam lived literally the street across, like, I mean, not across, but like over on the other side opposite of me. And then Chantel lived down the street from the both of us, me and Sam. But I hung out with Chantel more than I hung out with Sam. So again, we just know each other. So fast forward to like 5th grade, a new girl comes to town, and we'll name her Mandy. Why not? So Mandy comes to town in 5th grade. Again, she is someone that I knew of because she was a new girl, right? Like we met, we probably said hi to each other, but we didn't really know each other. We knew of each other, kind of like me and Sam, because I was friends with like other people at the time. Like I wasn't looking for new friends, so I didn't really care that the new girl was here. But sometime during that year, there was a club that me and Chantel were both in called Side Girls. We've definitely mentioned that before on the channel. Yeah, and then Sam and Mandy were also in that club. So it was like kind of bringing us closer, but again, we were friends. Now to the next year, 6th grade. We're in middle school, yay! Me and my previous like best friend group, right? We were still very close, and I wasn't really looking for other people. But the new girl, I really cannot tell you how me and the new girl, Mandy, became friends, because my memory is just terrible. But I think she remembered, she constantly told me, like, to remind me how we became friends by saying it was definitely in 6th grade, and like we just started talking in the class. Or at least that's how I remember. I don't see, bro, my brain. I really cannot tell you how we met. And I think that was a sign. Red flag number one. What I remember, it was we had the same reading class in the morning, and so we sat near each other every single day because we knew of each other, right? We're in middle school. It's all like more schools, like all how to explain it. All of like elementary schools are combining into two separate different middle schools. There was just new people that I haven't seen before in my classes, and this is when I'm finally like stretching out into each class, walk to class by yourself, not line leader type beat, right? So like, you know, we knew of each other. We were like, let's get closer to each other, you know, just in case things around other people don't work out. Catch my drift? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. But I think that's basically what happened. Like, we just clicked so much in that reading class, and she still kind of didn't have like a friend group of her own yet, so she kind of just, you know, gravitated towards me and my friends, which wasn't many. And then Sam, she's still more of like, we know of each other. Fast forward 7th, 8th grade. Me and my previous friends, we fell out. We don't really talk anymore. There's like this whole drama thing that happened. So now I was low-key kind of alone, but I had Mandy because she was the only one that stuck beside me. She didn't like that friend group anyway. She really was like, they're fake. Which, ironic. You can call out your own people. Am I that blind to just all the red flags? God, I can really pick the friends, can't I? Love you, Chantel. Love you, Kylie. Love you, Alyssa. Love you, Jess. Y'all my day ones, and y'all the real ones. Okay, so we never found out, and Mandy didn't really like that friend group from the beginning, so she was like, frick them, who cares? It's me and you now. We best friends, we locked in. Me and Mandy go through 7th and 8th grade together, locked in. Everyone knows that we're best friends. So then we go into 9th grade, and which is high school territory. We're now in high school. We're figuring out who we are. Me and Mandy still best friends, and then me and Sam kind of reconnect. I don't know why we reconnected at that time, but this was the moment, I want to say, where we truly like, okay, we're friends now. I think it's because we had the same science class and we saw each other every day. And again, in a whole new section where now it's 2 different middle schools from all the elementary schools combined into one high school. People are everywhere. Then you also have the seniors who are terrifying. So we latching on to each other. We knew each other since the elementary school. It's only natural that we see each other across the room and like, okay, yeah, me and you, we're here. Which, again, I know you guys understand that feeling. So yeah, I feel like that's when she kind of shifted in. And now, a little context between Mandy and Sam, they also knew each other because we all went to the same elementary school together. Mandy and Sam actually had the same 5th grade class, but they didn't like each other because of miscommunication. Like something, you know, happened. So like they ended up not liking each other. So they were kind of like rivals. I wouldn't say they were enemies, but they're definitely rivals. So when I started kind of bringing in Sam into mine and Mandy's circle, this is the crazy part because it all connects with the girl from my other story time that said I stole her phone. Phone girl. At that time, so like while I was low-key sort of maybe kind of bringing in Sam into mine and Mandy's bubble, she was low-key bringing in phone girl to our bubble, which off the rip, I knew something was wonky with phone girl. I tried to be nice to her, I tried to be cordial, but then like there was always like slick things happening that I was taking part of. Now I quickly realized, I think she was sloppy when it came to her meanness. I called off the rip, I didn't like her. I knew she was trying to steal my best friend, and the whole phone thing was a way to, it didn't work. Let's just say, it didn't work. So once that whole phone thing really, to be honest, that was the breaking point, happened, me and Mandy stuck even closer together, and phone girl was like, okay, you're weird, go away. End point of 9th grade, it's Mandy, me, best friends, me slowly still trying to sort of maybe bring in Sam to our trio, right? Phone girl's out the picture now. And this is where it kind of gets wonky from 10th grade to 12th grade or senior year, because while throughout the entire time me and Mandy are even growing stronger, everyone knows, our family knows, we're basically like sisters at this point, right? Through thick or through thin, it was between me and her. Out of everybody, if anyone's gonna fall out, it wouldn't be us. And literally, people from our high school would sometimes even go up to Mandy because she was more of like the social one between us. I was not. She was the one that could be friends with anybody, and so she kind of like weaved her way in, sort of, maybe with the popular crowd. I hate calling them that, but you know, that kind of crowd. Since Mandy weaved her way into the popular crowd, they also knew who she was. So like so now the popular group of people who like knew, who were the heads of the school, they knew of me and her. So they knew that we were best friends and they knew we were unbreakable. So sometimes they would even go up to Mandy specifically and be like, oh, where's Nevaeh? Da da da. Sometimes it'd even be like everyone knew that me and Mandy were best friends, that when we weren't together or we weren't seen together for a long period of time, people would question whether me or her stopped being friends, which we would have to deny every time because we were still besties, and we just sometimes you need to find apart, which is fine. But like, so while that me and her were locked in, me and Sam were also growing really close together. Like we would do things on our own. Like I would go to her house more than anything. We had like little sleepovers and stuff like that. So we were getting closer because we kind of had like the same interest in like TV shows. She was another friend of mine, but her and Mandy still weren't friends. I wouldn't say that they like were still rivals of each other, but like, you know, not talking to someone and having that past, even if you guys don't see each other or anything like that, you just get over it. Eventually, I was the one. That's the thing. And that's my fault. Like Chantel always tells me, never mix your friends groups. So yeah, I'm the one that brought Mandy and Sam together. After a while, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of splitting up my time with you people. I generally do think that you guys would get along if you hung out enough, because the reason why you guys had a miscommunication was so stupid. And eventually, over time, I want to say like the ending years of high school, like 11, 12, it was now the three of us. We were a trio. See, I remember things, but then like I forget things. Before even high school started, so 8th grade, at the end of 8th grade, the 8th grade field trip, which was at a water park, Sam, we were close enough, I guess, we talked enough, we hung out enough, where she created a group chat for the water park, but it was also me and Mandy, and I can't really explain why we made a group chat. It was Sam who made it. She had a reasoning, but for some reason I can't remember why. I think it's something to do with us being like safety and knowing where each other are, but I just don't think that we were that close at the time for her to do that. Unless she made it because her and Mandy were already started becoming friends. I don't get it. And I never did. So every time that she says that story, I'm just like, really? That's why? Because we like made a whole brand of ourselves. A trio name is my point. Is we made a trio name based off of that group chat name. And it's been us three. And it was only us three. And that's what we were called. And we put it on everything. Like stickers, we had a hoodie. We had our signature colors. We were locked in. Oh my God. Basically, it's my point. By the end, like 11th, 12th grade, me, Sam, and Mandy were a trio. It was at this point, we've become so close that we're gonna be old. We're gonna get old together. We're gonna be friends. We're gonna be those grandmas that drink tea on the terrace in Paris. That's what we were gonna be. But, you know, the world works mysterious ways and we are no longer friends, is the point of this story time. So then college hits. This is where things get a little weird for me, and I think that I started seeing some weirdness. So just to make it short and sweet on this part, this little tidbit I'm gonna say. Me and Mandy, even though we were best friends, we were locked in, there was times that we had bumps in the road where we did argue and it was like a serious thing, but we always made up afterwards. Also around the end of senior year, that's when I started getting into K-pop, which I would fun fact. If you did not know, I am an ex-K-pop fan. I have phases of my life where I get attached to things, emotionally attached to things, and K-pop just happened to be one of them. I don't know why it became the thing, but Chantel introduced me, actually. I didn't stick to it when she introduced me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're kind of cool, but then I dropped off because I was like, it's just not that interesting. But then I got back on it, and that's when it really stuck. So I became a K-pop fan, okay? I have albums, I went to concerts, I've read fan fiction. So like, yeah, okay, I'm a K-pop fan. I was a K-pop fan. At first, I was like, it was just for myself, but I sometimes I get so excited about the things that I get attached to that I just want to tell everybody, okay? I want to tell everyone how excited I am about this thing that I'm attached to, and I want you guys to be on this thing as well, so I can have someone to talk to about it, right? None of my family members were into it, which is fine. I didn't really expect them to be. So, I mean, sometimes I'll catch them singing a song because I put them on, but bars, put me on a record or right now. But other than that, it wasn't like they didn't gossip about K-pop groups with me. They didn't watch the videos. They didn't get the albums. But I managed to get Mandy first, right? I managed to get her to like a couple, then eventually she was just as attached as I was. It was great. But then I also slowly, I didn't have to, it wasn't slow with Sam actually. She kind of just jumped right on it. And I think it was because she also was already introduced to K-pop before by her other friends that she had, because she had a different group of friends too that she hung out with more sometimes besides me and Mandy. But again, she kind of was like me. She wasn't attached, so she didn't care at the time. But eventually when I introduced her again, she grew attached as well. So at this point, our trio became K-pop fans. Now, don't be wrong, I don't fault them for this because I was a K-pop fan for a lot longer than they were. Like, I had like a whole year and some change on them, I want to say, before they were attached like I was. So by the time like college rolled around, this is where things got wonky. We had that summer together. It was great. We were like really close. But then college started. I jumped right in. Right after high school, I jumped right into college my first year. So did Mandy. But Mandy did not go to our community college. She went to the next city over. So she was farther away, like an hour and some change, I think. So it kind of, it was like an on-campus thing. So she stayed away throughout the whole school year. And then Sam, she didn't do college yet. She chose to take a year off, which is fine. But because me and Sam were in the same city the entire time, like even through college after summer, we just naturally grew closer. And like I said, we generally had like the same interest in certain things besides K-pop, which was still a really big thing. So me and Sam would talk about it a lot more than me and Mandy. And there was I felt it, don't get me wrong, that there definitely was a shift of me leaning more towards Sam than me and Mandy, because again, Mandy is away at college. So it's kind of hard to make our friendship stronger, even though we have been going so strong. And I feel like that is what was really a big thing for me as a trio, is that I had two different things with two different people. I had a relationship with Sam, I had a relationship with Mandy, and I had a relationship with all of us together. So first year of college goes by, me and Sam are closer, me and Mandy not so much. There was a point in time in like the middle of that year, that first college year, that this is the part where it's weird and I really can't explain it. It was my break. I was watching Victorious on Netflix. And usually when I watch TV shows, I binge them. I don't go on my phone. I don't read. I don't paint. I don't do anything else besides watch that TV show. Bad habit. So like I'm kind of MIA until I finish the series. And considering that all of Victorious was on there, I literally watched like, I think 2 seasons, straight, no breaks. And so like I wasn't answering the group chat texts as fast as I usually was, which I think they thought was weird because I was usually one of the people to first text back in the group chat. If you wanted a response, I gave you one. So then eventually after I finished the show, I do respond back like, hey, what's up, girl? How y'all doing? And now they weren't the ones to respond back. I tried FaceTiming them to like talk to them and like catch up, and they were just not having it. They were not picking up my call like at all. And I was calling them back to back to back to back to back to back. I think I called them like over 100 times. Cause like there's no way in my head, there's no way that you can't hear your phone ring 100 times. At no point in time did you not see the millions of calls I called y'all. But eventually they finally answer. Sam answers first. She's doing her hair in her bedroom, I think. And she's like, what's up? I said, why haven't y'all answered my calls? And she's like, I just didn't see them or whatever. She had some excuse. But like there was a hidden undertone in her. You can hear her, right? Like something was wrong, but she didn't want to tell me. I was like, okay, well, I've been calling y'all. What's up? I even tried to explain myself like I was binge watching a show. Then after that, Mandy answered the FaceTime call. She also seemed irritated. I'm like, bro, like at this point I got a little fed up because I'm like, y'all really acting weird, you're not telling me what's going on. I'm like, y'all really did not see. So y'all, I like called it out. I'm like, so y'all are really bothered that I took a couple of days off, that I didn't respond to you guys' text or FaceTime calls or whatever because I'm watching a show. And you guys are being really weird, not answering my calls. And they're both making up stories. Because Mandy's story was that she was asleep all day. I knew she was lying because I knew how her sleep schedule was. And in my head, it was the connecting dots weren't connecting. So there's no way that she was asleep at that time. Especially when every other day, she was always awake at that time. So yeah, that whole situation happens. But like it takes like a day or two, but we like make up. I don't know how we made up. I think it was like one of those silent ones where like we just let it roll off our backs. But we make up and we're back to being friends again. Mandy didn't want to be away at college anymore. She wanted to come home. She was giving reasons on why she didn't want to be there anymore, which they were valid reasons, and I don't blame her. So she came back home and she started college at the same one as me. And at the same time, Sam was like, you know what, I kind of want to go back to college as well. So now I have both of my besties in the same college as me. And I feel like for the first time, we were back on track. We were like really locked in. We're back on track. We're the trio again. Nothing could go wrong. You know, K-pop, our craziness for it was getting higher. We were getting more attached. And now this is where the part where it all goes. Because we were going through some things. Like a lot of things in our personal lives were happening as well. And it was just taking a toll on us. And it was showing us in different directions. I feel like we were all thinking different things. We're growing up, you know. And it was a lot for all of us. Also, by this time, our other friend, she's really not a big part, but she played like a weird factor in it, low key. Especially when you think about it at the end. We'll name her Sally. We kind of brought her into the group. I wasn't really friends with her at the time. We knew of each other. I mean, we were a little bit closer than that because we did hang out a couple times because we had Kylie in common. Also, she had Sam in common. So like we did more than knew of each other. But we didn't hang out. We weren't friends. But like eventually, she found her way into the group. I think it was more because of Sam helped her into the way. She wasn't as close to the trio, but she was definitely there when we wanted another person to hang out with, or like she wanted someone to hang out with. So we're all at college together, literally the same college. And even Sally, she's part of the college too. Okay, so I'm a dropout. I dropped out of college on my second semester, my second year, because it just wasn't me. I couldn't do it. And after they told me I couldn't graduate because I was missing 2 credits, they said I couldn't graduate and that I had to go again next year. And I was like, yeah, no way, Jose. If I'm not getting my associates now, I'm not getting it ever. I've had a job by this time, like a stable job in my eyes. I've been working there for some years now. And so I'm like a face in that job. Like everyone knows me. Mandy has had her fair share of jobs, but I think she just recently quit from one or whatever, and she didn't have one, so she was like, hey, Nevaeh, hook me up. Tell your boss that I want a job. And I was like, okay, I'll give you an application. I give it to my boss. Well, I'll help you. I'll put your foot in the door. Eventually, she got the job. And so for a while, me and Mandy were working at the same job as well. We were friends, we're on the same job. It was like a dream come true when I found out my bestie could work with me, for real. And that made us closer as well. And it like helped, and so like in a way, it helped fuel like our K-pop addiction because now we had our own money to go to concerts. We had our own money to buy albums, stuff like that. It helped us integrate ourselves into the fandom more. And Sam had her own job as well, so she was also keeping up to par. She was with us. You know, fresh out of my second year of not doing college anymore because it's not what I want to do. By this time, I was also very focused on an actual career in writing. Like I was writing my first book, which you can buy in mail on Amazon, link in the description. Prophecy with the Moons by me, Nevaeh Bragg. Go buy. Anyways, so yeah, I was writing that Prophecy with the Moons at the time, and it was me like really getting to nitty like, oh, this is what I want to do. So I just had different interests at this point, and so like my K-pop phase was slowly fading. I was now like growing more to attach the idea of like a career in writing and getting into that profession, because when I want to perfect something, I'm going to perfect something. And at that moment, I wanted to perfect writing, and I wanted to put out a book, and I wanted to be the New York best time seller. That's what I was thinking. That's what I wanted. So I did all my studies. I did all my work. I'm fixing myself every day. K-pop attachment fading. Not really into it anymore. And I let Mandy know. I did. I let her know at work one day when it was finally just, it clicked for me. I was like, it's just not for me anymore. And I didn't tell her right away. It was more of like, I have something to tell you and Sam. I do. And I just don't want you guys to get the wrong way, because I see how much you guys like this, and I don't want to force you guys to stop doing something that you like, because I don't want to do it anymore. And that's how I kind of worded it. And she was like, what are you talking about? She was really confused. And I'm like, I want to tell you guys, but I want to tell you both at the same time. And I don't want to do it over text, because like I feel like this is a serious thing for me. And I kind of want your guys' approval to just move on. And this is not how I said it to her, but this is how I was feeling. And I was trying to explain. So she was basically like, oh my God, Nevaeh, just tell me, it's not that serious, da da da. And I was like, okay, like I just don't like K-pop anymore. And I wish that when we did hang out, because my personal opinion, now listen to me very clearly, this is my personal opinion. Every time we hung out as a trio, it was the same thing over and over and over again. It was us three going over to Mandy's house, sitting in her room, and watching K-pop videos. And I'm not talking music videos, I'm talking like those fun video vlog game show things that they do. It was those all the time. It was music videos all the time. It was quizzes all the time. Like it was always something K-pop related. And you know, at first the cake, it's like, oh my God, we can gossip about, it's like fun, right? At first it was fun. And then it became just a repetitive thing that I was just not into anymore. So I was like, I wish that's something that we just didn't do as often anymore. Like we can still do it. I just don't want to do it every single time we hang out. Or if we do hang out, we shouldn't just stay in your room and do that. We should go out and do things. Like do activities, you know? I wanted to get out. So Mandy was like, oh my God, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, totally get it. Like she seemed okay with it. And she was like, it's not even that big of a deal. Just tell Sam, move on, right? And I was like, okay, if she's not making a big deal, then I guess it's not a big deal. And so I do tell Sam and I tell Mandy. Again, Mandy is fine with it. She's typing in the group chat, it's fine, totally understand. Sam, on the other hand, oh my God, this girl flat out told me that she doesn't like change and that she doesn't think it's a good idea, and that the only thing we have in common is K-pop, and what else would we talk about if we didn't talk about K-pop? I'm really confused. I look at my phone and I'm like, what? Because last I checked, we were friends before we were all into K-pop. Like I said, like I had a year of K-pop fan in me before they got into it, and we were friends before. It really confused me, and I told her that. I'm like, what are you talking about? We were friends before. Like, what did we talk about before? And of course, there was no answer because she couldn't tell me, because all she thought about was K-pop. I mean, at that point, it kind of felt like that. Like, the only thing we had in common was K-pop. But again, me and Sam, when we would hang out one-on-one, because there were times where we didn't hang out as a trio. We'd hung out like one-on-one or whatever. And me and Sam would watch shows together. We watch movies together. We go places together. Like, we did things. Right? So it just really confused me. And those things weren't K-pop related. That's the thing. It really threw me. And Mandy was a little confused as well. But in a way, like I low-key felt like she took Sam's side. But from then, that incident and me having to just be like, okay, you know what, forget I said anything. Let's just keep watching K-pop. Like, it stopped myself from growing because they wanted to stick to K-pop, or at least Sam did. So I just zipped my lips, kept my mouth shut, went along with what they were doing. That whole ordeal was the tipping point for when I think everything started going down, like steep downhill, like we went straight down. So like there was also something that happened previous, like way before. See, like I remember things. Way before I had that conversation, me and Mandy were working, same job, like I said. And Mandy is gonna go and say, because at this point, Sally, the girl that's been there low-key but hasn't been, she's more into the group now. Like now it was kind of like us four, but it wasn't established. I want to say that they saw Sam and Mandy. I want to say that they saw that I was into K-pop a little bit before I even announced it, because in my opinion, again, these are all my opinions, my feelings, my thoughts at the time, okay? They were low-key pushing me to the back burner because I wasn't as enthusiastic about K-pop. They saw the signs of that, and they were trying to bring in Sally. They were trying to low-key replace me with Sally because she was a fresh face. She was someone that they could turn to a K-pop fan and have something to gossip about. So they were basically doing what I did to them to Sally, even though I told them, like, hey, she doesn't seem interested, leave her alone. I saw them kind of forcing K-pop onto Sally, low-key sometimes, and I'd be like, if she doesn't want to watch it, she don't gotta watch it. But they successfully managed to get her to like at least one group, ATEEZ, which, okay, cool. And that was like one K-pop group that I just couldn't get into. I couldn't back. I couldn't like their music, I'm sorry. Deja Vu's a bop, but I just can't get into them. And so it was like a leg up on kind of pushing me out more and getting Sally into the group. So like if I can get her with ATEEZ, I can get her with other groups. That was their mindset from my point of view. So there were times where eventually the hangouts weren't just different things because now Sally's in the group, but it's back to the K-pop watching videos. And I'm just like, oh my God, we had a moment there, and then we're back to square one. And now Sally's a part of it. Okay, back to what I was saying before. Me and Mandy were working, and so now us four, we had a new group chat. Besides the trio group chat, now it's the group chat and Sally, right? So we have another one. And so we're all in it together, and that's where we usually would text each other like, hey, do you want to hang out? Do you guys want to hang out? Like me and Mandy were working, and just randomly, as I'm like doing my job, Mandy is like, so why don't you like hang out with us anymore? She didn't say it like that, not those words directly, but that's what she was saying. Like, what are you talking about? You guys never really asked to hang out. At least I don't remember you guys asking to hang out. And she's like, yeah, we do. We hang out all the time. And like, we ask all the time to hang out, and like, you're the only one who doesn't ever respond. Mandy's like genuinely like wondering. She seems confused on why I'm not hanging out with them. And I'm like, and in mine, I'm like, you guys have never once asked the group to hang out. For the past like week or so, I haven't heard anything from you guys. And Mandy was like, yeah, we do. We ask all the time and you never respond. And I'm like, okay, look at my phone right now. There's no messages in this group chat that say that you guys want to hang out. So then Mandy whips out her phone and she's like, yeah, they're right here. They're right here. She looks at the group chat name that she's talking about, and she literally looks at me and laughs. And she goes and says, oh, that's the one where you're not in it. When I heard that, it literally felt, it hurt. I felt like, oh. I was like, no way you just said that out loud and laughed about it. Like, I really couldn't believe it. And she's looking at me like she can't believe she just said that either. Like she can't believe she just found that out, that they had a group chat. And don't get me wrong, they're allowed to have a group chat without me because like we have a group chat without Sally. But in my head, it was us as a trio before Sally was integrated. That sounds really selfish, but that's how I felt. I was a little betrayed, because then it really like reassured the thought in my head that they really were trying to push me out. So when she did say that and she did laugh, she like apologized. But I brushed it off. I was like, it's fine. Like, I don't even care. You're allowed to do what you want. And you are. They are allowed to have their own group chat. And then me explained that I'm not really into K-pop thing happened. So then it was like, okay, she's gotta go. Nevaeh's gotta go. I feel like that was what sealed the deal. All of that happening. It was like a slow burn, I would say, after that. They were the only friends that I had, which is obviously not true because, again, I had Kylie, I definitely had Chantel, and I had Alyssa. In my head, they were the only two that I had. So I'm like, I'm not gonna risk losing them. So whatever they wanna do, whatever they wanna say, I'm okay with. So there were times where I was genuinely uncomfortable in what was happening around me, but I just stuck through it because it made them happy. Don't get me wrong though, even though I'm making it seem like I was basically unhappy for a good portion at the end, we still had fantastic moments together. Like when we hung out, there were still times where I genuinely had fun and I was genuinely happy with them. So it may seem like it's all bad, but it's not. I would actually say that 80% of our friendship was a lot of fun and happiness and love. And again, I wish them no ill will, but when the times were bad, they were bad. This is where things really like hurt the most for me, is because I always had the remembrance of Mandy telling me that they had a group chat without me, and when there were days where they haven't responded to me, it made me think that they were in the other group chat just like chatting away happily. Because knowing the character that Sam is, she's very clingy, and she is the kind of friend that needs to text you at least once a day. Even if it's just a hi, that's what she is. So I was always scared that one day would be the day where it's like, all right, we're just not gonna talk to her anymore. And then eventually that fear came true. I low-key manifested it because like at the same time, at this point, I was slowly just backing away from everything. Like I didn't want to be there anymore. So like I really never showed up anymore. And that just gave him another reason. So I guess it's my fault as well. I ain't gonna lie. I take responsibility for that. At this point, knowing that she wasn't in school anymore, so there wasn't really anything to do, she was back into working. And so she asked me like, hey, can I get a job at your place as well? Like, can you help me get in with the boss like you did with Mandy? And I was like, sure, what are friends for? So I got an application, I helped her and everything like that. And I told her what to do, where should I go, and da 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 da. And before she was given the job, she was going through something again that's very personal in her business, but it resulted in us kind of like rekindling that spark of like, oh, what our friendship was when we first started. But it was for that moment. And then we were back to what we were before, like kind of distant. I think that's what we were at the time. The trio was distant, but it was just me and Mandy and Sam. They were actually getting closer together, and I was the one drifting. So like eventually she got the job. So now it was us just a trio working together. The first day, this is, and I keep saying it, but like it's like, it blows my mind every time I think about it, because like, okay, maybe this was the point where you're like, it was like, okay, it's over, right? But this part that happens, I don't know what I did. I don't know what caused it. And I should have asked why before we stopped all communication with each other. But there was like this underlying tone of attitude and like, we're done with you. I felt it from Sam first, but then I don't know, like slowly after a day or two, Mandy had the same underlying attitude with me. I'm oblivious. I have no idea what's going on. At this point in time, I've also established myself in another more professional job, the job that I'm at now. I've been like established there for almost a full year. So like now I'm working a big girl job. It's in my eyes, it's a big girl job. So like I was more occupied with like my career. That was my mindset at the time. Me working this big girl job, my mind was career, job, money. That's what I was on. K-pop, not even a second thought to me right now. After like a couple more days, it was just very prominent that Sam was upset with me and Mandy was kind of taking her side on things just really quietly. Like she still talked to me, but it wasn't like the bestie vibes anymore. There was no squealing, there was no giggling, there was no, I'm happy to see your face right now. It was just like, hey, How y'all doing? My brother also works at this job, but it's not like nepotism or anything. Don't think that, okay? He does his job well and I do my job well. Two separate things. Sometimes I don't even trust the fact that he's there. Anyways, it was one night where it was just me and my brother that were working. Mandy was off. And my brother asked, hey, should I call Mandy in? And it was a joke. He said it's a joke because he already knew he had enough people to help him with this job. He didn't need anybody else. But also the fact that Mandy was off. Like, so we did not need her. So as a joke back, I was like, no. Really mean nothing behind it. It was a joke. It was one of those jokes that you just say. And so my brother laughed at it, right? And we went about our day. He didn't call her in. And then I think it was literally the next night where all three of us were working together. And my brother goes up to Mandy and says, did you know that Nevaeh told me I had to call you in yesterday? I hear this because I'm not that far away. And I take full responsibility. I take my faults on the situation, the way the miscommunication happened. I really do. Because I can totally see where it sounds wrong. I come out of the little space I'm in and I'm like, bro, why are you like lying on me right now? Like, why are you telling on me? Why would you say that I say that? And I'm like trying to defend myself, like, I didn't mean it. That's not what I meant. Like, why would you say that? And I go up to Mandy. I'm like, hey, that's not what I meant. That is not what I meant. What I meant was I told him not to call you in because it was your day off, a day off that you purposely took off. You told me days before, week before, that you did not want to work that day anymore. So you purposely took off your schedule. And like me and her, we both know that because we discussed it. But then also he had enough people. He didn't need anyone else to come in. She laughed at it. She understood what I meant. This is the part that gets me. She knew where I was coming from. She understood. She told me she did. We laughed it off. We went about our business. The rest of that shift went by as nothing happened. So when it struck me by surprise, when she said that she found it weird and funny that I did that, I was a little baffled. This is the part where now Sam is working again. I think it's like a week later. I don't know. But I know it's sometime around October. I know that for a fact. She comes, she's working. It's like a week later, she's working, I'm working, and Mandy's working. Now it's us as a trio working at the same shift. First, I'm there, and then Mandy comes in, and my brother's also working that shift. Now that I realized, because I was talking to him beforehand. Mandy comes in, my brother says, hey, she looks like a blueberry, as a joke, because she had blue hair at the time, and she was wearing a blue hoodie. She was decked out in blue. She looked like a blueberry. And I kind of laughed at it, because she did. She was covered in blue. So I went up to her, and I was like, hey, my brother said you look like a blueberry, because you're blue hair, right? And I think it was freshly dyed. I think she just dyed it again blue. She gave me a chuckle. First, she wouldn't listen to me. Like, she didn't hear a word that I was there. So she kind of chuckled at it, but it wasn't, like, she didn't give a response back like she usually would. Like, she would have made fun of him and his hair, his poofball mushroom hair too. But she didn't that time. She just kind of, like, laughed and walked off. I was like, oh, okay. Well, she's not in the mood to talk. Rough day. Understood. Give her space. So I still had no clue that she was like upset with me, or like something was wrong. So then I go to her later on the day, try to pick up a conversation. Sometimes it'd be there, but then it mostly was not. It was flat. And then the next day, I think it was the next day, this is when the three of us are working, me, Sam, and Mandy, we were working. There's just attitude walk off. Like, not speak to me. And I'm like, oh my God, did I do something wrong? Like, what is going on? Like, I was seriously confused. I have no idea what was wrong with them, what I did. I was wondering why they were mad. I even tried texting them a couple times. No response. So I'm like, I'm just gonna give them their space, and then eventually they'll come tell me what's wrong. Okay, I don't wanna push them to talk if they don't wanna talk to me. Considering I was at my big girl job, I cut down my hours to the second job that I worked with them to, like, I think a day or two. So I was not really there, and that kind of made Sam and Mandy closer again as well, because now they had more days working together and I was not really there. I was more at my big girl job, which was a different time than when they worked. We just like never had the same times anymore. Sam's birthday happens. She has the same birthday as Chantel, literally twins. It was a day. It was a Thursday. Her birthday was on a Thursday, and I knew for a fact because that was a day that I knew for a fact I had off. And it was also the same day that Mandy purposely took off because she wanted at least one off day with me so we could hang out when we wanted to, right? Mandy knew that I had that day off. She knew I had Thursdays off. I go on social media one day and I find the fact that Sam and Mandy went to a concert without me, a K-pop concert without me. It only stung a bit because they didn't even bother to ask if I wanted to go. It's like hypocritical of me to say, but like at this point, I still like K-pop. Like I would listen to it if they listened to it. I would indulge myself in the activities that they wanted to do that involve K-pop. But was I actively doing the things that I liked during K-pop? Did I do it by myself? No, I did not. But their excuse in reply was, oh, it was 80s. Didn't think you wanted to go, which is super true. I still would have went though because like it was an opportunity to like leave the city and hang out with my gal pals, have a grand old time like before. But I totally understand why they wouldn't have asked me. But they asked Sally instead. I saw it on social media when they posted pictures about it, but it was like really sunk in that it really happened when Kylie was like, oh my God, I saw the picture of Sam and Mandy. They went to a concert. Where were you? I was like, I don't know. I was at home. They didn't ask me to go, so I didn't go. She's like, oh, that's weird. You guys usually go to things like that together. I'm like, yeah, I know. But they didn't even ask me, so she's like, oh. Fast forward, now it's Sam's birthday on a Thursday that I purposely had off, and Mandy knew I had off. It was her, Mandy, and Sally hanging out on Sam's birthday, having a little group hangout. I saw it on social media. I saw the pictures of it on Friday, so it already happened. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is what we're doing now. I'm kidding. I wasn't that cool. I was really hurt. It stung because Mandy knew that I had off on Thursdays, and yet she didn't even bother to text me if I wanted to hang out with them for Sam's birthday. I want to say a couple days later, where it was me, my brother, and Mandy were working, and she like completely like just shut down on me. Like she didn't want to speak to me, be in the same room as me kind of vibe. Again, this is my fault. I didn't try to like get her to speak to me. I didn't. I just let her do her, and whenever she was ready, she can come talk to me because I'll be willing to listen. After the shift ended, she went home. She was quick to clock out and go home. But I was taking my sweet time to like pack up and whatnot. And after she left, people around were like, hey, yo, what's up with your friend? You and your friend in some kind of fight right now? Like you and Mandy in a fight? Because I know y'all are besties. And I was like, I honestly don't know. I don't know. She's just mad at me. But eventually I did pull out my phone. I'm like, you know what? Let me find out. Let me just take the initiative, jump into it, and try to figure out why she's mad. So I pull out my phone, I text her, and I'm like, hey, is there an issue? Like, you got a problem? Is something wrong? Again, did not say it like that, but it was something along those lines. She said, nothing's wrong. I'm like, dude, I know you. I know that something's wrong. She's like, yeah, okay. The only thing, I just found it weird that, like, nothing's wrong. I'm not mad at anything. I just found it weird that you told your brother not to call me in. I was like, oh, it was news to me because I thought we were over this. Texting. I wish I could show y'all the screenshot of this conversation, but because it was me trying to like just, it's over with, I'm moving on, I also deleted their messages. It's kind of like I didn't think it was a big deal. Like it was a joke. I didn't mean it. She was like, yeah, but you know how like I'm trying to save and I don't really play with my money and stuff like that. I was just like, oh, okay, well, it was a joke. I didn't mean for it to happen. I'm sorry if you felt like I was trying to play with your money, but I would never do that to you. I just genuinely was like joking about it because I know you purposely took that day off to have a day off, and he didn't need more people. Like I was trying to explain the joke over again and the fact that I did not mean it. And she just kept going on saying like, it was just, she kept saying like it was weird to her. Like she didn't she didn't believe me, basically. There was no resolution to the conversation. It kind of just ended. But from that day, after that conversation, she didn't talk to me ever. Just like, she didn't text me, she didn't call me, neither did Sam. But by that point in time, I want to say that Sam didn't even bother to text or call me. Like, I think she's the one that caught the attitude first with me, like had the reason. She just like cut me off first, and then Mandy eventually followed suit. But yeah, so like from that day, we never talked. We didn't talk again. We didn't try to communicate, and it stung hard because we were friends for a really long time. That was like really my bestie. But yeah, that was my story time, not so story time, ranting, get off my chest, something that happened to me, events, whatever you want to call it. That's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.